Finding Frankie 2 is now officially in development, and season 58 is up next. This is huge news and has me super excited for what's to come with the Finding Frankie IP. We are getting a second game and a feature film. That's insane. This announcement has also given us artwork that's revealed a bunch of new details about the upcoming game. The devs have even been teasing stuff in their Discord server. So let's parkour our way into all this new information and see if we will be the new lucky contestant of season 58. First off, how did we get here? Didn't Superlou just announce another game? Let's try to connect all the dots here. I think we can all agree that Finding Frankie was a success. It has over 1,500 positive Steam reviews with just under 200 negative. For your first game, that's impressive. It's really good. The game was also released on console, so that's not even mentioning those numbers. What I'm getting at is, this game was a hit and left everyone wanting a second. However, Superlou, the game's creators, did something I don't think anyone was expecting. To show that they were not just Finding Frankie, they decided to develop an entirely new game called Someone's Inside Me. Obviously, this wasn't Finding Frankie 2. This was a unique multiplayer experience where you and other players would venture through a human body to escape your monstrous teacher. Just wow. And to be honest, this looks insanely fun. Now, you might be asking, why am I bringing this up? Well, it's because the development for that game is now put on pause for Finding Frankie 2. And I have a few ideas for why this happened. As we already know, it was announced that Finding Frankie is getting its own movie. That's huge, and I'm so excited for it. Seeing that story play out on the big screen is going to be insane. This movie announcement came after the Sim reveal. So, I think the company that's bringing the movie to life urged or suggested that Superlou should pivot to Finding Frankie 2 instead of Sim, since the movie was announced. In return, this would help grow the hype for the movie. Or Superlou just decided to do it themselves. Either way, honestly, I'm so happy they're doing this. With a feature film and a second game installment, you have the opportunity to grow the Finding Frankie IP into something massive, likely bigger than they ever imagined. So here we are, Finding Frankie 2. What is it? What's it going to be about? And wasn't season 57 the last one? Well, not exactly. At the end of Finding Frankie 1, we learned that the entire show was scripted and we were supposed to die at Hexa Havoc. However, we survived, winning the $5 million as promised. And this mishap actually turned into something useful. The real Frankie told us about how we are the first contestant to ever win, how we are special, but us and Frankie need each other. Because on the verge of bankruptcy, we came along to save the show. In other words, us winning saved the show because we were the first to ever do so. Ratings had skyrocketed because of our success. Both viewers and profits were at an all-time high. The show had been saved and we are a star, but stars don't just leave after one season. This of course was teasing season 58, a season with a returning winner, the start of something new, meaning the ending of Finding Frankie 1 did tease a second game. Lucky for us, we have this amazing art and a short synopsis thanks to the Superlou team's Discord. It reads, Finding Frankie 2 follows soon after the first game, taking place in season 58 of the game show. With newfound fame and a larger budget, the show is raising the stakes and becoming far deadlier inside Frankie's super parkour complex. You play as a contestant who is scripted to die to create temporary competition for the season 57 winner. However, when you survive and go toe-to-toe with Frankie, conflict arises, and you must fight for the grand prize of $5 million. This tells us a lot. First, the larger budget puts us in a new location, Frankie's super parkour complex, which was also teased by the devs as well. So this is where Finding Frankie 2 is going to take place, meaning we can expect a much bigger location with even more insane obstacle courses to parkour through. Now, we will not be playing as the same person from the first game. We will be playing as a female contestant, something the devs had also teased from before. Playing as this new person, we are scripted to die to create temporary competition for the season 57 winner. In other words, we are only there to create a sense of competition, when in reality we are supposed to die anyways. However, of course, we survive, which goes against the plan, so conflict arises. Superlou even mentions, I don't think Frankie would like someone challenging his prize contestant. This tells us the plan for season 58 is to have the season 57th winner win again. He is the star, just like Frankie said at the end of the first game. We need names for these people, please. Superlou also mentions there isn't one lucky contestant anymore. I think this is hinting at Finding Frankie 2's ending. We, the female contestant, are going to win season 58 with last season's winner. 2 lucky contestants. But that's just me speculating. Maybe we end up killing the winner from season 57. Who knows? Either way, having a new winner and or having 2 winners will obviously increase the game's ratings and profits even more, which would ultimately give us a season 59, Finding Frankie 3. A few other details I should mention are I think Finding Frankie 2 is going to have optional multiplayer. 2 main contestants allows for 2-player co-op. Superlou even said no comment when they were asked about multiplayer. So it's definitely in the game. This was a feature a lot of people wanted in Finding Frankie 1. Finding Frankie 2 will feature a different Henry. As we know, he exploded in the first game, so they likely made another version of him for this new location. Finding Frankie 2 is going to be around $20 to $25 and will be about 1 to 2 hours longer than Finding Frankie 1. That was around a 2-hour game, so we can expect this one to be about 3 to 4. That price for the time is fine. I mean, it has to be higher from the first game, which was $15. So I think it's reasonable. But once you start getting into the $30 to $40 range with only 3 to 4 hours of gameplay, that's when things get a little dicey. But I don't think we will have to worry about that. Now let's take a closer look at this teaser art because, like I said, it reveals a bunch of new details. The general overview here is Frankie chasing us, the new female character, with a caped Henry hotline in the background. We're running on an obstacle course, and interestingly, we are running up. This could be a new feature. Maybe we have sticky shoes that allow us to run in and up any direction, or it's just presented this way in the art. So this is our first look at the new Henry hotline. He has a cape, which is cool. He might be portrayed as a superhero of sorts considering the outfit as a whole. This brings us to Frankie, and he's gotten some upgrades since we last saw him. Overall, he looks slightly different. This could just be the art, or the company redesigned him since he might have died at the end of Finding Frankie 1. The biggest change here are his hands. They look more like claws, having bone or metal sticking out with sharp ends. We can also see he now has extra rows of teeth, something straight out of a nightmare. This is so cool and makes him look even more feral. This redesign really emphasizes how Finding Frankie 2 is going to be much deadlier. Now let's focus on the contestant. Instead of red, she wears pink shoes and pink gloves. But what's most interesting is what she's holding. Deputy Duck, he seems to have gotten an upgrade as well. To be honest, he wasn't very useful in the first game. You only needed him for a few parts and that was it. So with this upgrade, I have a feeling he's going to play a much bigger role, or rather useful role. The device is shaped like a gun and it seems to run on batteries, meaning we might be looking for some while we're playing. Most importantly, it shoots something. We can see a line of something, maybe string, and it attaches to a spool, meaning whatever it's shooting comes right back. So this could be a hand of sorts, something we use to hit levers that are out of reach. It also seems to have a flashlight, so we can expect some dark areas in the game as well. Overall, this art is incredible. All this new stuff, the teasers, the movie, and the game has me super excited for the future of Finding Frankie. I can't wait to jump back into this horrific parkour game show. How do you guys feel about Finding Frankie 2? Are you excited for it? What do you want to see most in this new game? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you like horror game content like this, please consider subscribing. And you can now get 20% off your next G Fuel order using code TERRIFY at checkout. This supports me and you get a nice discount. I have a Discord server, so if you want to chat with me, I recommend joining. And if you want to support the channel more, you can become a member. Don't forget to follow my Twitter at TerrifyT. Thanks for watching.